Oh, army hearties! Today we are going to look at pirates and the myth that they buried their treasure. We've all been little and played pirates and made treasure maps and followed them to the end where X marks the spot. And I don't know if you saw the film The Goonies, but I completely love that sort of thing. Just the idea that you're going to find ships full of pirate bounty. It's not really true. The only problem is it's not particularly true. You see, most treasure pirates had was actually cargo. And so it would have been things like cloths or medicine, sugar, spices. It wasn't particularly the sort of thing you could pop in the ground and come back for later. So when a pirate got to port, they normally went through their loot very quickly. They would spend it on gambling and ladies of ill repute and alcohol and general carousing. You see, pirates would probably be those type of people who lived in the moment. Retirement plans, saving for a rainy day. I don't think it was really in their thought pattern. There was one pirate that did bury his treasure, but it is thought that he buried it not so much to keep it hidden, but more to use it as a bargaining chip to keep his neck safe. Because being a pirate, if you were caught, could mean a very sticky end at the hands of Her Majesty's forces or whoever else was looking for you. Captain William Kidd from the 16th century did hide some of his loot on Gardiners Island. Problem was, someone ratted on him, it was dug up, and when he came to trial, it was used against him and it was used to convict him, and he was hung. William Kidd's death didn't actually end the hunt for more treasure. It was rumoured there is a much larger bounty. And for many years, people said, well, it is really just a rumour, until 2015, when a very large silver bar was found off Madagascar. It is said to come from the wreck of his ship, which was called the Adventurer's Galley. When it comes to the idea of pirates who bury treasure, we have Robert Louis Stevenson to thank for this, because it was his Treasure Island book that really promoted the idea that there would be a map and there'd be an X that marks the spot. And this also brings us to other things that you would find in books like that, like walking the plank. There is zero evidence that that was a punishment used by pirates. You are more likely to have had something called keelhauling, which is a truly brutal idea. What it is you attach a rope to the person and throw them over the side, and then on the other side of them is another rope, and you basically drag them underneath the ship. And the idea is that the barnacles will scratch them. They could be dragged just under the middle of a boat, or if they've been particularly naughty, from keel to bow. This type of thing could actually lead to drowning, or it could lead to death, because you will be cut so deeply from the barnacles that you would get infection and die. It is a truly horrible way to go. As a little person, I did fall on Barnacle Rock, and I can attest to the fact I had no knees. It was brutal. So the idea of having the whole lot, no thank you. Now, if you want a story of real pirate gold, then we have to talk about the Whydah galley. This was captained by Black Sam Bellamy, and it went down in a storm off Cape Cod in 1717. It had on board the loot of 50 ships. That loot was said now to be worth well in excess of $120 million. How do we know? Because somebody found his ship, dived on it, and found real treasure. Not exactly buried, more sunken. In 1984, Barry Clifford found the wreck, and this is actually the only fully certified pirate shipwreck to have ever been found in the whole world, which I would think would mean there's an awful lot more of these out there. The state of Massachusetts tried to appeal and claim that everything on that ship belonged to them. Barry took them to court and won. Finders keepers rule in his favour. So Forbes magazine says that Bellamy, because of this one ship, one find, was the most successful and richest pirate in history. However, it doesn't change the fact the idea of buried treasure, and that's what pirates did, and ooh-ah and go and dig it all back up, it simply is not the pirate way. They were more for looting and then getting into port and having heaps of fun, spending the dough and moving on to get the next ship. Especially when you consider that people like Bellamy, who did have all his loot on his ship, ended up losing the whole of it and his life at the bottom of a very cold ocean. Has it surprised you to find out that pirates did not bury their treasure? I have to say it shattered an illusion for me, but that's what investigating history is all about. You never know what you think you know, and the things you don't think you know, you knew. If you love histories and mysteries, have a look in the description box. We give a link to a cold case that I have put together just for you. And you are very welcome to it. And please give a like, a subscribe, and a thumbs up, and anything else that can support this channel. Ooh, or I'll make you walk the plank, me hearties.